Good morning. It's chilly. I've got on a hoodie. That means it's really chilly. Anytime I've got on a hoodie, I have on a long sleeve t-shirt and a hoodie. So that means it was 36 this morning when I took this little iPad and I went up and captured the sunrise in Ball Ground. It was absolutely breathtaking. Let's talk a little bit about these mountains, and let's talk a little bit about all the people who were in the mountains this weekend. From Ball Ground to Turtletown, we hear tell that there was a whole bunch of people out picking apples, picking up pumpkins, picking up fried pies, picking up muscadines, picking. Lots of stuff going on, and we welcome y'all to these mountains, and we certainly welcome your money because these small businesses need your cash revenue, and thank you to each and every one of you. We had so many cool people come to Ball Ground, and I think we picked up a fan or two of peach cobbler because I made peach cobbler and gave it out at our office, and I made bread pudding and gave it out at our office nice and warm. That's what Southern women do when it gets cold. We make chili. I made chili. We make bread pudding and we serve it warm. I did that. We make peach cobbler and we serve it warm. I did that. When it gets cold in the South, we do, these are the things we do, and I got to share this. This is so funny. I got this off of one of my friends' Facebook, and this is so true because I was talking to Evelyn today, and I said, oh, it's so cold, but it's going to be 80 Thursday. In the South, we do this. Immediately start making chili when it gets cold. I did that. Crank up the heat, but don't you dare turn off the fan. Now, is that not hysterical? That's us. And force the blizzard of 93 into the conversation because we all remember the blizzard of 93. Do you know in 93 for 9 days we did not have electricity? We lost power for 9 days. We had a generator, but my precious husband said, well, we'll loan it to one of the kids that lives out in the country because we live in town and we won't lose power. Wrong. We lost power for 9 days. It was awful. It was so cold. But we didn't need a refrigerator. And it's funny because we had just moved from the brick house to the truck shop house, and we hadn't moved our refrigerator yet because number one, J.S. said, you're never going to be able to live in this house. It won't hold your clothes. And I said, yes, I will. I'll keep the brick house to keep my closet. But long story short, we did not have power for 9 days. It was weird. Now, the other thing that we do in the South, when it's doing this weird weather, because, you know, today it will be winter early in the morning. It will be spring by lunchtime, it will be fall by evening, and by dinner tonight, it'll probably be winter again. It's crazy. And then it'll be summer Thursday. We walk outside wearing a sweatshirt, got on a sweatshirt, shorts and flip-flops. Now, I don't do shorts and I don't do flip-flops, but I did do a sweatshirt today. So that's what we do in the South. We will have 4 seasons in Georgia. And today my phone's been ringing with people coming up here from Florida. People are coming up here from Florida to chill and to get cool because it's still 90 down there. So they heard tell that we had cold weather and they're coming. And we want them to come because we know they're going to buy gas, they're going to eat, and if they're smart, I'll tell them a bunch of restaurants to eat at. They need to get out and enjoy these mountains. And we just have to say, welcome, y'all. Welcome, y'all. I want to show you some pictures. You know, picture queen. Tim came down to Ball Ground and he got some scarecrows, and we want to show a little bit of this. There are 40 entries in our scarecrow contest, so we have a scarecrow invasion going on. And he didn't get them all, but we have bragging rights right here for Gilmer County. Let me tell you what Gilmer County did this weekend. They excelled in band competition. Congratulations, Bobcats, congratulations, and it really touched my heart because my precious granddaughter was the Pickens drum major, and she loved going to competition and loved winning it, and I know that this band loved winning too. So congratulations to each and every one of you. So proud of y'all, and what an amazing, amazing thing to happen. Now this is Ball Ground. And this is a networking group that we belong to, and it's small business owners and people of the community who get together and talk about what can we do to make the community better. And we have all different businesses represented, and we just get together and kind of support each other and try to give back. That's part of what you do when you live in a small community. You give back, you give back, you give back. And Scotty Calhoun, that's Evelyn's husband sitting right there. You talk about somebody who gives back. He is a good helper, a good helpmate. He's just a good guy, and I appreciate he and Evelyn and all they do to make our community better. He's volunteered so much time for the Garden Club, it's crazy. So, and this was at Laura May's, and if you have not been to Laura May's visiting, go by and visit. Now this is my buddies at the Shell gas station. These girls make amazing, amazing biscuits. And so in their honor and as a tribute to them, I made them a scarecrow. And I used them as a model. So there you go. And I have my old bread bowl, white lily flour, and Crisco. The only thing missing, and that, y'all, that is the most precious man that ever graced this earth, and he has gone to be with Jesus. And I miss him so much. That is Mr. Kenneth Ray, who was the kindest, sweetest gentleman. And fall always makes me think of him because he loved riding that tractor and he loved getting out and working the land. He was a wonderful husband for many, many years to his precious wife, Jean, and she went to be with the Lord, but not until he took care of her for 13 years as she fought Alzheimer's. You talk about a saint, that man's a saint. And he's gone to be with Jesus now, so he got a blessing. Now, this is a scarecrow. I want y'all to go to the Garden Club website, and I want you to vote for the ETC scarecrow because that represents ETC. And then this is our biscuit maker scarecrow. So that represents those wonderful biscuits at the Shell gas station. You can vote for whoever you want to, but, you know, I'd appreciate you voting for those two if you can. And I want to say a big thank you to RNA Orchards because we handed out a whole bunch of apples to folks who came through Ball Ground on Saturday, and those were compliments of RNA Orchards. We love the Futch family. We love everybody who works there. Such a great, great group of people. And they have been putting up with a whole bunch of tourists lately, so you know that their nerves may be frayed just a little bit, but they just do it with a smile every time. But these apples are ambrosia, and they're only available for about 2 weeks, but man, they are so good. They are so good. And I cooked some over the weekend and made bread pudding with them and then been eating on them every day, and they're just amazing. They're crisp and firm and not too tart and not too sweet, just really, really good. And again, we had free apple picking right there. You just pick you up an apple and it's yours for the taking. So thank you again to the Futch family. And get out and visit all of our orchards. Go visit the wineries. If you like grapes or you like that stuff they make out of it. Now that looks kind of weird and crazy, but that's when I did cook apples to go in the bread pudding. I'd never done that before, but when it baked up, it sure was good. Everybody said, yum, 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 yum. So I'd never done apple bread pudding, and I kind of did crazy apple pudding because I put craisins in it too. So it was crazy apple bread pudding, but it was yummy. And there it is finished, and it really was yummy, 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 yummy. I did almonds and craisins and apples, and then 3 kinds of bread, and it was really good. And that is the scene that I get to see out the kitchen window, and that makes me smile. That just makes me smile when you think about your kids and your grandkids, and yeah, it's a good day. That baby makes me smile. That baby makes me laugh. She is crazy, and her mama said that she's running around with a notebook and a pen taking notes all the time. And they said, we feel sure she's going to be taking her real estate license and taking the test, and she's studying now. So she's so sweet and so smart, and oh my God, I love that baby. And yeah, she's out picking muscadines with her Granny Dawn. So they picked a whole bunch of muscadines, lots of muscadines. Let's talk about God's bounty. We've got black walnuts on the ground. Pick them up, shell them, make yourself a black walnut cake. Pick up the muscadines, get you some muscadines, and I'm telling you, get you some apples and put them up this winter, and you will be so happy you did because you can make fried apple pies with them. Get your apples, cook them up, put them in the freezer, have them ready, and then just jerk them out and make you some of them good old fried apple pies. So there you go. And isn't that a pretty picture? Do not waste time thinking about what you could have done differently. Keep your eyes on the road ahead and do it differently now. So pretty good attitude, pretty good attitude. We have had, when it gets cool, I want to cook. I have this thing. I just want to cook when it's cool. And I got so tickled. I was filming this, and I was waiting on the coffee pot to perk. But that sucker was slow as it could be that day. And I'm like, would you hurry up and perk? Because I want you to perk. The best smelling coffee comes out of the old-timey percolator. And it's my granny's old percolator. And I just love those things. I had my Aunt Lou's and I've got Granny's. And I just love it. Now, do y'all know what that is? That's corned beef hash. And corned beef hash used to be 89 cents a can. Well, now it's $2.69 to $2.89. Depends on what brand you buy. Is that not a sin? That's just crazy. But we're dealing with it. We're dealing with the reality that the world is changing drastically. And boy, there ain't nothing we can do about it but sit back and say a prayer. And I prayed a lot last night because there's a lot going on in this world. When it gets cold weather, it's also time to make chicken and dumplings. And everybody says, how do you do chicken and dumplings? How do you do chicken and dumplings? Well, I've done chicken and dumplings all my life. And I started learning from my grandmother when she was very, very poor. They had very little money, and they would go to A&P on Techwood Drive in Atlanta, and the butcher would save her backbones and necks. She would boil the backbones and the necks, and then she would take the bones out of the thing, and there'd be very little meat on there, and she would pick the little bit of meat off and put it back in the broth, and she would make dumplings. She taught me to make dumplings. I make them like she did. I just make the same kind she did, very simple, very easy, and we've got a short video we're going to show you of me making dumplings. Now, if you've never made biscuits and you don't know how to work the dough, you're in trouble, because that's the key to this, is you just, that's what you do. And I don't stir my dumplings, I shake them to keep from making them fall apart. So some people do a little different and do coarse ones. Some people roll them and cut them. I had somebody show me one day how he rolls them out really, really thin and with a rolling pin, and I said, one day I'm going to try that. But this is just the way Granny made it, and it was really simple, really easy, and not saying that I have a lazy bone in my body, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's simple and it's easy. So we're going to take this time to show y'all my chicken and dumplings, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about something serious. I had to do a little something lighthearted, because then we're going to get serious. We're going to get serious about what's going on in the world, and we're going to talk about Israel. So I'll be back shortly. Hey guys, welcome to the cold South. It got cold tonight, and you know what that means? That means I had to run home, put on a bunch of chicken, get a bunch of broth ready, and get ready to make chicken and dumplings. And you see this? Southern women cannot cook without their hands. I mean, we have to use our hands. And I've sifted about 1.5 cups of flour, and I've almost committed a cardinal sin today, because the store was out of white lily, and I had to buy Martha White. So Martha White, you better do me proud every time. And you see, this is I call that a dollop. That's a dollop of Crisco. And we're going to blend the Crisco in with our flour. And again, it's sifted flour. I sifted it, and I got a little bit impatient. My sifter's not too fast. So I sift. And you crumple that all up. And then this is the trick. See that? It just, some of this flour volunteers to get in there, and the rest stays on the side. It just says, nah, I don't want to play. So we're going to do that. Now, here we go. Mayfield milk. And if y'all don't live in the South, you don't know a flipping thing about Mayfield milk. Southern cooks cannot cook without Mayfield milk. And I might add, sometimes I use buttermilk, but today, plain milk. Just plain old 2% milk. And you see how you're just volunteering for that flour to jump in there? And the flour's just jumping right in there, and it's doing what it's supposed to do. And that's the important part. You have to, my granny never got the dough in her hands. I have never learned the technique. Y'all like my bracelet? See my bracelet? That's my man. That's my man. Okay, there we go. And you just, I have volunteered all this flour to the middle of it. And basically, I do my biscuit dough the exact same way. So, and I'm just giving it a little flour on the edge and being real sweet to it and being gentle, because we don't want them to get hard and tough. Now, I use milk and Crisco, because Crisco will do you proud every time. But I know somebody who makes dumplings with water, and his are completely different than mine, totally different texture. Mine will be light and fluffy, and some people like the dense
dumplings. So you have to decide, what do you like? Do you want them light and fluffy? I like them light and fluffy. My granny made them light and fluffy. That's the way I like them. You pinch them off, you drop them in there, and one of the first things you learn is you do not stir these suckers. You let them just boil and cook till they get done, and you shake the pot. If you think you need to give it a little help, you just shake that bad boy a little bit. So it's real simple. And again, it's one of those things, this is tried and true, because this is the way my granny did it. If my granny did it, it had to be right. And you will see when I finish this recipe, I am into black pepper. There's something else about the South and black pepper. We got this thing about it. We don't care that it's black and turns our food black, like a lot of people want white pepper because it doesn't change the look of your food, but we don't care about that. We love the taste of that black pepper. It's so good. And again, they're not too big, but they are going to be fluffy. And I just pinch them off. Some folks roll them, some folks cut them. Folks do different things, but this, you got to remember, my cookbook is called Simple, Southern, and Scrumptious. There's a reason. It's got to be simple. It's got to be simple. Working 2 or 3 jobs, raising a house full of kids, and being on the run all the time, I didn't have a choice. It had to be simple. If it wasn't simple, it didn't get done at the house. So, and you see this? We are not going to stir these bad boys. We are not going to stir them. See what you do? And you just let them get around that broth, and they just make friends with those dumplings that are right beside them. It's a sight in this world at how much they love to do this. They just jump right in that hot broth, and they just make friends and make friends, and then I can add more, and I can add more, and it kind of keeps them from sticking together. And I do it till I cover the top really good, and then some of them will float around a little bit. And you see the amount I did. This is not my biggest pot. This will make enough for about probably 4 to 6 people. And when I cooked for Scotty Mayfield, I made enough for about 30 people, and he was just blown away. He's like, oh my gosh. But you can adjust your recipe for, are you doing a big crowd? Are you doing just for your family? What you got going on that day, you know, and you just adjust your recipe, because everybody knows a recipe is just a beginning. You see that? How simple is that? And I can guarantee you, these dumplings are going to be good. I promise you they're going to be good. And my granny would be here whining because I've got dough on my hands, because she never got dough on her hands. It drove me crazy. And I have tried all my life to do it like Granny, and I just can't figure it out. And she's gone on to be with the Lord, so she can't sit here and fuss at me and tell me what to do, so I'm just on my own. But you see how quickly, this is less than 5 minutes. And we've got those bad boys in there, and they're going to be cooking. And in about 20 minutes or so, we're going to have chicken and dumplings. It's going to be 28 degrees tonight. And to me, that just hollers chicken and dumplings. Get me some chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings, and maybe a peach cobbler or something else warm. You know, you want to serve warm food to your family. And I don't know about y'all, but we're tired of leftovers. Lord have mercy. Thanksgiving was awesome. It was awesome, but the leftovers are about gone. And I'm about proud of them. Proud they are. You see how those things are just bubbling up? And you just keep stirring them, not stirring them, shaking them, till you make sure you get broth on all of them. And I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to add some more black pepper to it, because you can never have enough black pepper. Never. And this is one of those recipes, I mean, it took so few ingredients. And remember, Crisco, you can use butter-flavored Crisco, you can use regular Crisco. And again, some people use buttermilk. I use buttermilk when I make biscuits. I do try to get Mayfield milk, because honestly, there's just something about it. It is the best stuff. And again, this is a hot supper for 4 to 6 people. It's a budget meal. Now, somebody I know would add this to his dumplings. He makes the firm dumplings, and he adds a can of cream of mushroom. Okay, are we going to vote? Do we want to add cream of mushroom to it or not? What do you think? Yes, so we'll probably add some when they're almost done. I didn't used to do that, and my granny will probably roll over in her grave because she was not a mushroom eater at all. But again, you see what they're going to do? We're just going to keep letting them do their thing, and it's amazing. It's just amazing. We're going to add, and these are my great-grandmother's salt and pepper shakers. I've had them for a long time. Lots of black pepper. Lots of black pepper. A little bit more salt. And again, toward the end, I'm going to add the cream of mushroom soup. I didn't used to use it, but after I tried it, it does add a little bit of flavor to them. So, and again, this is one of those recipes. I literally got home from work, got this done, no time, doesn't take any time at all to do it. And let me get a... See how the broth is beginning to thicken? So you don't have to do anything to it, just enough flour comes off of the dumplings to thicken the broth. And again, you see what size bowl I used, and I used about 1.5 cups of flour, and then I used a big dollop of Crisco, and I did, my phone was ringing. Did y'all hear my phone ring? My phone always rings. My phone never shuts up. But I'm not going to answer it right now. But this, again, you see how it's already beginning to thicken, and I've broken up the chicken pieces and put them in there. And so we've got that going on. Is that not cool? And in 20 minutes, we will have dumplings. I think I'm going to go ahead and add the cream of mushroom. I didn't used to do this, but it does add a little bit of flavor to it. So who am I to judge somebody who gave me a tip? And I'm going to pass that tip along to y'all. And it's something, again, that I never did before. And I just add it into the soup and let it kind of work its way around. And this is just Campbell's cream of mushroom. And there'll be somebody out there that says, oh, I don't like mushrooms. Well, you can't really tell they're in there. It's just the flavor. Just adds a little special flavor. So there you go. There you go. And I just put it down. Most of the time I would put it in at the beginning of the broth, but I wanted y'all to see it as it is without it. And it does add that little touch of flavor. My granny would say, what is that taste in there I taste? I taste something a little different. So, but again, how simple is that? 10-minute meal. 10 minutes, you cook it 20 minutes and 30 minutes. Rachel rated everything in 30 minutes. That's 30 minutes. So there you go. And it'll be ready shortly, and we will dip it up and serve it. And another thing that's great to serve with this is if you want to do one vegetable, if you want to do a broccoli slaw, which would be great to have on the side. Something simple. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple, keep it southern, keep it scrumptious. And I guarantee you people will be coming in saying, what you got cooking now? Again, this started with chicken broth. We had taken the chicken off the bones, put the chicken in, and you saw how we did the dumplings. Flour, a little bit of Crisco, and again, normally I use White Lily, but they were out of that, so I got Martha White. And I think Martha's doing okay. I think she's got it going on tonight. And just don't stir these dumplings, just shake them. Just shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, and before you know it, they will be done, and they will be happy. And they will be feeding about 4 to 6 people. And again, what's left of this, I'm going to really do something cool. I'm not going to make it tonight because I don't have any lemons, but tomorrow I'm going to make chicken piccata soup. And I've got some broth left over, and I've got some chicken left over. So tomorrow, when it gets cold weather, I just got to do something that warms your bones. And, you know, there's something about cold weather and chicken and dumplings. There's something about cold weather and a big old pot of soup. So, and you know, for long we'll have to cook a pot of soup beans because I've got all that ham that we had left off the bone for Thanksgiving. So you freeze that and then you make a pot of soup beans. This is just cold weather cooking. So, and very, very simple. Easy, easy, easy. Okay, guys, there's your lesson. Simple, southern, and scrumptious. What more do you want? Wow. Yum! Yum!
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
The mountains are calling, and they're closer than you think. Farmers Crossing in Ball Ground offers creekside lots with homes beginning in the 400s. Walking distance to downtown shopping, dining, tennis courts, Calvin Farmer Park, and local events. It also includes a beautiful hike to Long Swamp Creek. Leave the car and the worries behind. Move in by fall 2023. Call Cherie Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
The ETC Game of the Week is back again this football season. Watch your local teams go head-to-head each week only on ETC TV3.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Guess what? Y'all are all invited down to Ball Ground because we're going to have the Spooktacular at the Ball Ground Botanical Garden on October the 28th. And let me tell you what it cost you to come. Not a dime. Y'all come down there. We're going to have trunk or treat. Your kids are going to get lots of candy. They're going to have a great photo opportunity with the garden decorated absolutely beautiful. And we would love for y'all to come to Ball Ground. Now, the coolest thing about that garden is ETC gave us a couple of really cool benches to sit on. And I'm one of them old grannies that finds the bench and sits down while the kids run around. ETC put several of these benches out when we first started the Botanical Garden, and they're awesome and they're so comfortable, and you can just sit while the kids play. So thank you, ETC, for doing that. Do you know what else ETC does? They are part of your community. They're not just a company that comes in here and makes money off of you. They are part of your community. We have a scholarship program. We have all kinds of things that they do to help others. And that's why I think we need to know, if you're new to town and you haven't checked us out, you need to check us out because it's pretty good company. Over 120 years old. Think about that. No, I haven't been here that long, but I feel like it some days. And today's one of those days. I was up all night last night. I was up all night last night because I was caught up in the depressing, horrible news over the weekend. And I want to show something, and I want to remind you of about a 3-minute clip that we're just going to show you something that happened to America on 9/11. I want to remind everybody the tragedy, the horror, the things that happened on American soil. And I want to remind you that the same monsters that have taken over and done what they did in Israel over the weekend are back at it again. What happened to America, the day that this happened, the world rallied around us and helped us. The world told us to go after the monsters and to do what we have to do to protect ourselves. The world stood with us, and it is time today that we stand with Israel. And when all night long, I have not closed my eyes. I could not sleep. I couldn't think. All I could imagine was the 700 who were murdered, the 1,000 who were injured, and the horrible things that happened to women in front of children as the monsters took over and attacked Israel. This was a well-planned, well orchestrated. I hate to know that with all the intelligence that we have in the world, somebody missed what happened in Israel. Somebody didn't know that these monsters were planning this. And it is so scary. It is so amazing to me that with the technology and with the drones and with all the sneaking and listening in on all the conversations of the world, somebody didn't know that Israel was going to be attacked. They chose a time when they were celebrating. They had people gathering in a peaceful concert area, women, children, innocent victims. 700 died because the monsters came in, and they had the funding, they had everything organized, and they did it. And it was a very fast and very horrific attack. And I hope that we will stand with Israel, as we should. And I hope that the world will stand with Israel and wipe out this disaster. Some of our Congress people had said something as dumb as, well, don't do anything to fight back. Are you crazy? You have to fight back and you have to protect yourself. And I just thought, you know, we are sending a Navy ship to be offshore. We are sending help. But I hate to say these words, too little, too late. Too little, too late. 700 innocent people, women who have been horrible things done to them in front of their children and handcuffed and drug into vehicles and bleeding, and it's been a horrific weekend. And I have had a hard time getting through it because I remember 9/11. I remember what America faced, and today Israel is facing something it is their 9/11, and it's very, very sad. So today I chose some music that I hope will lift our spirits, encourage our hearts, and I got to ask every single one of y'all to pray for that nation. Oh my God, you know, that is where Jesus walked. And to think that these monsters are destroying the land where Jesus walked, are you kidding me? We've got to get together, we have to pray, and we have to stop this craziness, and it is craziness. The songs that I chose were written by Dorothy Hightower, and all of you know Broken Ground. You've heard her here on ETC for years. The first time I heard them songs, all the songs that she did really just brought cold chills to me. But this morning I was out at daylight filming the sunrise and playing her music just to get my head straight, because what's happening in Israel could once again happen in America, and it scares me to death. We're raising kids, we're raising grandkids, we're trying to do the best we can, and the monsters show back up. And it's just scary. It's just scary. So today, let's unite in prayer. Let's unite and listen to some wonderful songs. I hope that will give you a little bit of hope, and I hope that together our prayers will be heard and the monsters will be stopped, because what happened to Israel, nobody deserved this. Nobody deserved this, and it was horrific. So we're going to share The Word in Me, which is one that Dorothy wrote over 25 years ago. And it speaks volumes about you never know who's listening. You never know when you can make a difference in somebody's life. And I hope today that we can make a difference in Israel's life, and I hope that we can help them to recover. And then the other song is He's My King. And Jesus was Jewish, and Jesus was our King, and was and always will be our King. And so we have to support the land where he walked. And then the other one is Powerful or Pitiful. And Israel can be powerful or they can be pitiful. They're going to be powerful, and we are going to stand strong, and we're going to put them in our prayers, and we're going to lift them, and we're going to help them, and they're going to come through this. And I hope that vengeance will be swift, and they will take care of things, and then the world will be a safer place to be. So here we go. Enjoy some music by Broken Ground.
A young man was praying when God spoke to him. He said, "You'll preach tomorrow a word that I'll give." But at daybreak the snow fell. He was bound to his home. He said, "Lord, I don't understand. I feel this message so strong." And he said, "The word in me, it cries in my heart like fire in my bones. It's been from the start. Lord, you've given me life and more abundantly. And I thank you, oh Lord, for the word in me." So out in the backwoods he walked for a while. He thought of the message, and it brought him a smile. And then he preached such a sermon that would give your heart a chill, overwhelmed by the Spirit and God's perfect will. And he said, "The word in me, it cries in my heart like fire in my bones. It's been from the start. Lord, you've given me life and more abundantly. And I thank you, oh Lord, for the word in me." 20 years later, his faith holding strong, he heard a young preacher singing a song. And when he told this young man, "You've blessed my heart so," he said, "You blessed me too, sir, 20 years ago. For I was in those backwoods with nowhere to go. Well, that's when I heard those sweet words, and it freed my soul. Oh, you thought you were only preaching to the squirrels and the birds, but now Jesus lives within me, and now I have the word. Oh, the word in me, it cries in my heart like fire in my bones. It's been from the start. Lord, you've given me life and more abundantly. And I thank you, oh Lord, for the word in me. Ooh, yes, I thank you, oh Lord, for the word in me.
When Jesus stood accused before the crowd to die in my stead, they platted thorns to make a crown and placed it on his head. They smote him and said, prophesy, as they laughed at his abuse. Then they mocked and bowed before him, saying, Hail the King of Jews. Now he's my King, he's my praise. All power in heaven and earth belongs to him. He gave me life for all eternity, and every knee shall bow, every tongue confess, he's my King. When they led him up to Calvary's hill, his body beat and sore, Pilate wrote, this is the King of Jews. Upon the cross he bore. When the chief priest said, he's not our King, Pilate answered those around, I have written what I've written, I'll not take his title down. Now he's my King, he's my praise. All power in heaven and earth belongs to him. He gave me life for all eternity, and every knee shall bow, every tongue confess, he's my King. For he's my King. He lived again. All the power of hell and the grave couldn't hold him down. He conquered death for my liberty, and throughout eternity he'll be my King. He's still my King.
That Dorothy Hightower is one talented lady, and her girls are talented. Now, we're going to do one more song from her in just a minute. But I want to remind y'all, Georgia Mountain Fair, Georgia Mountain Fair, Georgia Mountain Fair. Well, let me tell you who's there tonight. The entertainment is Diamond Rio. Love, love, love Diamond Rio. And tomorrow night is the Traveling McCurries. And then on, what's after the 10th, the 11th is the Bellamy Brothers, and then on Thursday, Ronnie McDowell, and then Shenandoah on Friday. So really, really, really good music. There are still a few tickets available for the Trace Atkins concert. You'll have to call and figure out how to do that, because you can buy them online, and just a few tickets left. But you got to get out and do this. This is the best bargain in the state of Georgia. And seriously, they have campgrounds. And I want to remind you, if you don't get up and go to the fair by October the 21st, there's going to be the Appalachian Brew, Q, and Stew Festival, which is always really cool. and a lot going on. But in the fair, you get a 1-day pass. It's $6 for arts and crafts only. A 4-day pass, $16 for arts and crafts and concerts. And then a hard ticket is required for 7th and 14th concerts. But those are just those 2 concerts. Everything else is included for the price of the ticket. And you need to get out and be a part of this. This has been going on for over 70 years. And again, it is in Hiawassee in Towns County. And the folks in Towns County, including the Lions Club who volunteers to help with this, they do a lot of work to make this happen. So please get out and support them. And know that your dollars that come in from all these tourists help many of the cities that we serve. So please get out and go to the fair. Take your kids and have a great, great time. Now, you know, what's happened in the world is not good. What's happening in the world is not good. But we still have the ability to ask God to protect us, protect those we love. We need a hedge of protection around all of us because it is not a good place to be right now. We have to tell Israel, be powerful, don't be pitiful, be strong, and fight back. And do what you need to stop this monstrosity. It is crazy that this has happened in the place where Jesus walked. So here's another song by Dorothy and the Girls, Broken Ground.
Elijah the prophet escaped with his life, wounded in spirit, to the Lord he cried, just take me home, Lord, I'm the only one left. The Lord said, get up, there's still 7,000 haven't bowed to Baal. You can be pitiful, or you can be powerful. Stand on the word, or fall by the way. We can do all things through the strength of our Savior. You can be strong, or barely hold on, but there's a choice to be made. Church has forgotten the power we hold. We're more than conquerors, and it's time to be bold. Put on the whole armor and don't be deceived. Be strong in the Lord, you already have the power you need. You can be or you can be powerful. Stand on the word, or fall by the way. We can do all things through the strength of our Savior. You can be strong, or barely hold on, but there's a choice to be made. You can be strong, or barely hold on, but there's a choice to be made. Choice to be made. There's a choice to be made.
Well, broken ground. I think we needed that today. I think Israel needs our prayers. The world needs our prayers. We have got to join forces, and the prayers of many need to be heard. I've thought about it. I've studied about it. I've prayed about it. I don't know what else we can do, and it is a very scary time in our world. So let's get together and let's make a difference. Apple Festival is going to be happening this weekend, and I want to remind y'all of something that happened last year. We had 2 really cool local guys on stage. We had Brett Cantrell and we had Mr. Ellijay. We're going to give you a couple of songs as we leave today of Brett Cantrell, and he sounds a whole lot like he had some raisin with a whole lot of music in his background, and you're going to enjoy this. So So you're going to get to hear a little bit of that, and I want to remind y'all, when the Apple Festival is in town, we're going to be playing the music from last year, and we're going to play it often so y'all will get to hear it. But get out and support all the folks around town who make a living, you know, quite often. This Apple Festival brings in enough people that it gets people through the winter. So please get out and support all of our local businesses. Sit back now and enjoy your homegrown, your good old boy, Mr. Brett Cantrell. Oh my gosh, we don't know what happened. It was playing perfect. That is crazy. The guys are going to work on that. You talk about live TV and a technical difficulty. That was a technical difficulty. I about passed out because I listened to that thing all night long last night. It played perfect. It played perfect in here this morning. There is a scarecrow in the, I don't know, in the control room. I don't know what's going on. Maybe a ghost came through and did something. That is crazy. And this is so funny. Last night at 3:03 a.m., I finally said, okay, I've listened to videos, I've watched the news, I can't stand anymore. I'm going to have to do something. And so I started listening to Brett's music, and I said, okay, we'll use this today. And it was perfect. It was dead on perfect. I don't know what happened. The guys are seeing if they can figure it out. We don't know if it was in transferring files. I don't know what happened, but that's not the way it was supposed to sound, and that's not the way it sounded when we got it this morning. It's crazy. I don't know how that happened. That is just beyond me. When that came out, I was like, what in the world is going on? And of all days, when I've had zero sleep, I had to really think about that, and I thought, what is happening? Played fine. Don't know. That's the great thing about live TV. And speaking of live TV, yesterday I was watching Atlanta News, and I was watching a story, and it was one of our big stations, and I looked at their promo, and there were 3 lines, and there was a misspelled word, and I said, oh my gosh. I said, their editor should have seen that. Their producer should have seen that. Well, we played the music this morning, and it was perfect. And now, it did not sound like our Brett Cantrell. I don't know what happened, but we do have it in a better format, and we'll do it again another day. So I guess that means we're going to have to leave you with one of Dwight Sanford's songs. Y'all will have to settle for Mr. Ellijay instead of younger Mr. Ellijay. So we're going to go to one of Dwight's songs as we leave you today. Please continue to pray for our world, for Israel, and certainly for our United States of America. We need your prayers.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me? stops by to say hello, would I still see suspicion in your eyes? Here we go again. You're asking where I've been. You can't see these tears are real and I'm crying. We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. Long let our love survive. Hard dry the tears from your eyes. 'Cause don't let a good thing die. Darling, you know I'll never lie to you. Yeah, yeah, we're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I'm saying? Don't you know I'm caught in a trap? I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby.